Morning, everyone. It is Friday again already, and time for Friday morning model cars and coffee. And that little Willie's there is not supposed to be in the camera shot. I was taking pictures for a Facebook group that I'm in. It was Willie's day yesterday, and I'm late, so I'll sit that over there. Don't want to distract from 32s because they're the best. As you can tell, it's going to be some 32 builds that I've done. I realized on my Friday morning model cars and coffee I haven't done any 32s, so I thought we'd do a little variety here today. And we'll start off with the one on the top there. That's Needle box art. This is not original box. I don't think I ever had an original one of these, but there's what the cool box looks like. This is from 96, 95. Okay, but cool box. It's neat that they redid this back then in 95. I guess 95 is back then now. But the original copyright is 59, which is pretty cool. Neat old kit. So, and I just built it right out of the box, and I tried to copy the box art a little bit, but I didn't paint it black. Let's get the cup out of the way here, bring it over here so I can drink some in a minute. So you can see on the box it is black, and I just got all kinds of unplanned crap going on here. Hang on a second. Okay, I gotta do some plugging in a minute, so we'll set that right up over there. So anyway, this is the build I did. It was molded in that color, so I just polished up the plastic, put the decals on it to match the box. Even got the little guy in the front and the headlights and a little flame in the firewall there. Pretty neat kit for back then. It's neat they reissued it. I don't know if they ever have done it since 95 or 6, but it's a half a body. You have two halves. There's the seam, and we all know how I feel about body putty because I bitch about it all the time, so I didn't want to try filling the seam in, so I just put some decals over it, so when you're looking at it on the shelf you don't really notice it. And it turned out pretty good. It's just a real fun, simple kit. It's got a little driver in there with it and a little dash. My wife used to do all my little figures for me, and she don't want to do it anymore, so I tried. I'm not the best at it, but it looks pretty good on the shelf. Neat little 32 race car with the flat head. And as we all probably already know, I don't know if the guy is going to fall out here. I'll tip it over. There's not a whole lot of detail to these. They were just back in the day, you know, they were just starting out. Everything was kind of primitive, but that's not too bad. I didn't even do the seam in the motor. I just kind of built it like a kid would do back in 59 when he first bought it. Just take it home, throw some decals on it, put it together real quick, only do a little bit of painting. But it's not a bad kit for what it is. You can spend a little time on it and probably make it pretty good. So this guy showed up, and then next up I thought we'd do another goofy old 32. That thing there, my son bought this for me 2 or 3 years ago. He found it at a swap meet or flea market, thrift store, something. But it is a pretty cool kit. Again, there's the box on this. Not a whole lot to the box art. I don't know if there's a date on this one or not. Yeah, here we go. 1970. That's back there a ways. And the way this thing was packaged on the inside, I'm not sure if the guy didn't get if there's a newer version and he threw some of the parts in the in the box to make it a complete kit. Just some of the parts didn't like jive, but this one we saw for a minute when we were doing the gloss pearl overcoat white lightning paint thing. But I thought we'd do a closer look at it because it's a pretty neat old kit. Lindbergh's not the greatest, but they're still fun. Again, this one's right out of the box. I might have changed the rear tires because I think they were like that all the way around. And hand painted the white walls, as you can tell. Again, building it kind of like some kid would do back in the 70s. But I think I changed the rear slicks. We'll look here in a second. Put some pinstriping on it. Got the club plaque and the little fancy bumper things they used to make. There was a name for them, but I can't remember. And I don't know if those original tail lights or not. And I did a little to the interior. I used that plastic sheet I was telling you about. I showed you before, but I'll show you again. That stuff there to get a pleat look to it. You can cut different sizes and different shapes. I just got a little square looking panel there, kind of match the pleats in the seat, just to give a little bit of eyeball in there. There's not much to it. Not much. Again, this is that white lightning over, I'm thinking, a light gray primer, because I was going to make a like a 50s hot rod out of it, just gray primered hot rod. And then I tried that white lightning and it worked pretty good. But this is like the other one, not a whole lot of detail, so I didn't spend a lot of time. Again, I didn't really get the seam out in the engine block there, and I should have flipped the, I think it's all molded in one, so I couldn't get rid of that little mold thing there on the drive line. But hey, just a fun old kit. It looks really good on the shelf. I like the color. I like how the color turned out. And right out of the box, didn't put the hood on it. I don't even know if I painted it or not. But it was a fun build. My son wanted to see it built, so I surprised him and built it really quick, and he's pretty impressed with it. Again, like I've said before, my wife and kids take care of me pretty good on the model things whenever they see something. Then next up, we got the AMT. You know, this is just one of the many versions, one of the many box arts they've done. Not that appealing of a box art. You get the big old white, but yeah, I guess that was a style there for a while in the 70s. Big old white meats. They had to stick out past the fenders, and that was just the norm. And they got the goofy pinstriping on it. Yeah, box art's not the best, but you got some versions here, and still that just doesn't do nothing for me. Stock one does, but hey, you know, that was a style back then. I don't know if there's a date on this. Oh yeah, 85. So I built so many of these. I got a few of the different box arts. I don't know if I have them all or not. Kind of hard to keep up. But the coupe's my favorite. And I built a few of them, as we all know, and I collect a bunch of them from vintage builds. But I built this one. Added my own little twist to it. I was going for a 50s hot rod look. So, you know, the hood, you know, they never fit good. You just got to deal with it, or you can spend hours and hours trying to make it look good. But I'm not into that. I get a nice, clean looking shelf model, get it where I'm happy, and then I'm happy. But I had some old vintage hubcaps. I put this on a few Facebook groups, and everybody asked what those caps come from. And I have no idea, but I thought they brought in that 50s look pretty good. And I put in a 50s car. I don't know what that bumper's off of. Obviously it's not off of 32, but they did that back in the day too. They put big old honking bumpers from passenger cars on them. I got the matching one in the back, and then the old 3N1 license plate there. And the paint turned out pretty good. I didn't color sand it. Like I mentioned before, I hate color sanding these 32s because of all the freaking edges and body lines and stuff you rub through. And I'm chicken. I don't like taking a chance. And the interior, come right here so I get some light in there. I just did it white, and I put some of that plastic with the pleat in there to kind of match the seats in that, because it was just a plain old door panel. White. Got a pin in there with the matching color for the paint, the shifter knob. I forgot to put a plaque in the window, so that's why I just put that one on there and left it. It's kind of a different than a license plate, but a license plate. And let's see if we can get the hood off here. Oh, it come off pretty good. Nice little motor in there. I think I had to do some different stuff on the exhaust. And I painted it gold because that was kind of a big thing back in the 50s, early 60s. And they all had a upholstered engine compartment, a lot of it on the firewall, so I used that same plastic to give it kind of a pleat look on the firewall. And white tires, and then the white top and the white running boards, kind of bring in the interior. And that was the thing, you know, you paint your fender wells white, so I just masked it off and shot the body and then peeled the tape off, and it worked out pretty good. A little bit different color, purple, on the chassis there for a little contrast. Homemade exhaust. I think I used I get confused here, but I think I used the frame. Doesn't have the molded in exhaust, because the original frame for the 32 coupe and roadster, that's all molded in. And I think it's the Vicky, the 32 Vicky, has separate exhaust and rear suspension, which makes it nice. You get a little more detail on it. So I think I'm pretty sure that's how it is, but don't quote me on that because my memory is not the best. And then it also came with a drop front axle, so I put that on there to get it down in the weeds a little bit. You know, not no contest model or anything, but a nice, fun, clean build. I love the 32s. You can see up in there I put some of that pleat stuff up on the headliner there, and you can see the paint. You know, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It could do another polish, I reckon. And I did the inside of the hood, or the underside of the hood, white, and then I put the little pleats in there also, like they used to do back in the day. I'm always striving for that perfect 50s look, and I'm also striving for that perfect built in the 50s look, because you know, all these guys I've showed you in the past, when you see those, they just have the look, you know. You just look at it and go, oh yeah, that was built back in the 60s, early 60s. You know, that one wasn't, because it's got the bigger tires, so it's more that version. So I'm always going for that look, and I never get it, which is probably good, because when I get it, you know, then I'll quit striving to get it. So anyway, that's 3 cars there that showed up today for Friday morning model cars and coffee. Thank everybody for watching. I really appreciate this. I'm glad you guys enjoy it, because I really enjoy doing it. But I want to give a couple more plugs again to some channels out there. I've done it before, and everybody else has done it, but I'm gonna do it again because they really need more subscribers. I think each of them have a little over 100, 108, 10, something like that. But one is this guy. And again, I apologize because I don't know how to put a link in. Someday I'll figure it out. But don't hold your breath, because my brain has trouble wrapping my head around this technology crap. But you gotta go check this guy out. his weathering and scratch building stuff is just phenomenal, unreal. He needs way more than 100 subscribers. Doesn't post a whole lot, but I think if we start showing, everybody gets together and start subscribing and show more interest in what he's doing and learn about him, that should motivate him to post more videos, because his stuff is just crazy, unreal. He's the guy, I believe, that built the little tow setup for Zippy's shop truck that he's doing. So the guy's amazing. And then we all been watching this guy, and he's still, he's still just a little over 100 subscribers, and he needs a few more, because this guy's detail work and scratch building, making pro streets and drag cars and stuff is just crazy detail stuff. So if you haven't checked him out, you gotta go check him out. You gotta go check him out and subscribe to their channel, because it's amazing stuff. And like I said, they need more than 110 or whatever it is. So with that, I'm gonna drink some more of my coffee. I just posted that Willys there on the Old Farts model car group or something like that on Facebook. It was Willys Day yesterday, so I'm late. So other than that, not much of an update on the 32, so maybe I'll do some more on that this weekend. Those things are ready to prime. It was warm yesterday, but I was busy. Colder than crap today, so maybe tomorrow or the next day. Anyway, everybody have a good weekend, and stay safe out there. If you got that crappy weather, maybe it's all done, I don't know. I want to thank all my subscribers. I really appreciate everybody joining on. If you haven't, please do. Check out the fun we're having, and leave some comments, good or bad, what you're thinking, what you're building, ideas you have on whatever you're building. And with that, I'm out of here. Everybody have a good one, and we'll talk at you later. Bye.